The dress I wore to my husband's funeral was navy blue. He'd always said black was too sad. My sister wore red to the service, which felt like a choice, but I didn't have the energy to decode it. 3 hours later, I stood in her living room holding a paper plate with a smear of blue frosting on it. Her son's first birthday. The baby looked like David. Same dark hair, same deep-set eyes. I told myself I was imagining it. Grief plays tricks. My sister clinked a spoon against her wine glass. The room went quiet. She smiled, that smile I'd known my whole life. The one that always meant something was about to be taken from me. "I have an announcement," she said. A small one. "Family business." She held up a document. I recognized David's signature immediately. The way his pen dragged on the D. "My son," she said, looking directly at me, "is David's child. Biologically, we were going to tell you both together, but then." She gestured vaguely, as if his death were an inconvenience. "The will is dated 3 months ago. He wanted to provide for his son. So half the house, the one on Maple Street, that's ours now. For the baby." Her husband stared at his shoes. Someone gasped. My mother put her hand to her mouth. I looked at the paper. The date, February 14th, Valentine's Day. David in the hospital on Valentine's Day. I remember because I brought him those chocolate hearts he hated and watched him pretend to enjoy one. The room waited for me to collapse. "Oh," I said. "I see." I bit the inside of my cheek to stop the smile. Not because I was happy, because I was holding something hot and bright in my chest that I couldn't name yet. My sister's eyes narrowed. She expected tears. Accusations, a scene. I gave her nothing. I set the plate down, walked to the corner, and sat in an armchair covered in plastic because the couch was for guests. For the rest of the party, she watched me. I ate cake. I smiled at the baby, who really did look like David, and felt something crack open inside me, but not the way she wanted. That night, alone in our house, I sat on the bathroom floor with his robe wrapped around me. The doubt was worse than the betrayal. Could I have missed something? Was I so blind? I didn't sleep. 3 days later. My sister's lawyer called, polite professional, a woman's voice, all business. She explained the will, the claim, the timeline. I listened. I said I'd need to see the original document. She said, of course. She said they wanted to resolve this amicably. I went to David's study, sat in his chair, pulled open drawers I'd been too scared to touch. I don't know what I was looking for. A receipt, a note. Anything that made the date on that will make sense. I found a book of poetry. Neruda, he read to me from it once, early on, before the cancer, before everything got small. A folded piece of paper marked a page. His handwriting, dated 2 weeks before he died, Clara, it began. "If you're reading this, I'm sorry I couldn't say it in person. Your sister came to see me last month. She was very interested in my will. I let her look at it. I wanted to see what she would do. If she does something, check the basement. Old briefcase. I'm sorry. Not for her. For you having to deal with this. I love you. I always loved you. Only you." I read it 4 times. Then I went to the basement. The briefcase was behind the water heater, dusty, locked. The combination was our anniversary. Inside documents, old tax returns, and a small voice recorder. I pressed play. David's voice first, weak. The chemo voice. "Why are you asking me this, Lissa?" "My sister. Clear as day. I'm just thinking about the future. For the baby, you want what's best for him, don't you?" A long pause. David breathing. "His, not mine." Hey could be. On paper. It would just be paperwork. She'd never have to know the truth, and he'd be provided for. "You're asking me to lie. I'm asking you to think about your son." Another pause. Then David, very quiet, "Get out. You're being emotional. Just think about, get out of my house." The recording ended. I sat on the basement floor and laughed. Not a happy laugh. A release. The kind of sound that lives somewhere between relief and grief. The mediation was in a glass office building downtown. My sister wore a cream suit. Professional, serious. Her lawyer, the same woman who'd called me, sat beside her. My lawyer was a small woman with gray hair and glasses that magnified her eyes. I'd found her through a friend. She'd listened to the recording once, nodded and said, "This will be brief." My sister went first. She spoke about responsibility, about her son's rights, about David's wishes. She held up the will. She teared up on cue. Her husband looked at his hands. My turn. I reached into my bag, pulled out the voice recorder, set it on the table. "February 14th, I said. The date on that will. David was in the ICU. I have visitor logs, nurse statements, security footage from the hospital entrance. He never left, so either he signed it from his hospital bed or someone forged it. My sister's face went still. "There's something else," I said, "a conversation, recorded a week before he died." I pressed play. The room listened. My sister's voice, asking David to claim a child that wasn't his. David's voice, telling her to leave. When it ended, the silence was absolute. Her lawyer removed her glasses slowly, deliberately. Turned to my sister. "Lisa," she said, "we need to talk. Privately." Now, they left. My sister's husband stayed. He looked at me for the first time. Something passed between us. Not friendship, recognition. 2 people who'd been played. 20 minutes later, they came back. My sister's face was gray. Her lawyer gathered the papers without looking at anyone. "The claim is withdrawn," the lawyer said. "Effective immediately. The document my client presented has been reviewed. It will not be pursued." My sister opened her mouth. Her lawyer put a hand on her arm. She closed it. I stood up, walked to the door, turned back. "The baby," I said. "Does he know about David?" Her husband flinched. My sister said nothing. I left. The house is mine, not half, all of it. The notary who witnessed the forged will lost her license. My sister's husband moved out last month. I heard it from my mother, who heard it from someone else. We don't talk, my sister and I. The silence is loud, but it doesn't keep me up at night. Yesterday, I planted roses in the garden. David's favorite, the ones he always wanted but never got around to. The dirt was good. Rich, I thought about him, about the last conversation I'll ever have with him. The one I didn't know was happening on a voice recorder in a briefcase. I thought about my sister too, how she sat in that mediation room, listening to her own voice try to destroy me. How she'll have to live with that recording in the world, even if no one else ever hears it again. She knows I have it, that's enough. The roses will bloom in June. I'll cut some for the kitchen table. David would have liked that. I think he'd have liked all of it.